Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family. We chose this one. This is episode 414, Life in the Fast Lane number 50. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too.
And Joe, it's been like 3 weeks. I was trying to figure out, it felt like a long time since we've done Life in the Fast Lane, and I was like, it's going to be a super long episode, but we've got a very underwhelming minute, which we're about to get to, and also, Vin has been so quiet on Instagram.
Reaction Rocket said it's my fault.
I know.
Which is really funny.
It might be. I don't know.
It
probably isn't, but it could be. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's kick things off with the Fast and the Furious minutes for Tokyo Drift, minute 16.
Either this or Juvie Hall. I mean, you just can't keep moving away every time you get into trouble.
Work for you.
Look, neither of us asked for this. But I promise you Mom might take care of you. So you just go by the rules her and I agreed to, and I'm sure you'll manage just fine.
Rules.
Yeah, rules. Real simple. You go to school, you come back here right after, and I don't want to see or hear about you anywhere near a car. Here, the bedroom's yours. Make yourself comfortable. Lights out in 10.
In this minute, Sean and his dad talk about the new situation. Neither of them asked for this, but Sean's dad told Sean's mom that he would look after Sean. Sean is not thrilled. Sean's dad lays out the rules. You go to school, you come straight home, no cars. Sean's dad gives Sean his bedroom as the minute ends. And Joe, I told you, not a lot for you, not a lot for me.
Nothing.
This might be, I mean, it establishes where we are in Tokyo in terms of like, it's going to be a fraught relationship. I was just hoping for Noodle Grandma. We don't get Noodle Grandma, but
We don't get much of anything.
No.
In this minute at all. But I did have a suggestion for a title and the question. And I think it's just very, very on the nose.
Okay, because I do not really have a question, so I'm open to whatever. There was a question somebody posed in the Discord about the last episode, and I don't remember who it was or what it was.
Fuck, yes. Somebody
Maybe
did
I'll look it up. It's fine. Email it in. That's the thing. Email it in. I love the Discord, but I'm not going to remember. I don't really check the Discord.
I'm not going to remember. I check it, and I message in it, but I'm not going to remember. As I'm well documented, I've induced my own dementia, so.
Yes. So what do you have as the minute title?
So I think hand in hand, I think the title and the question should revolve around the rules.
Okay.
So I think title, aptly just the rules, and we could do a which one of these is not a rule for Sean, right? Because you got 3 things, 4 answers. That was just like a structure that felt vibey in my watchings.
Because the only other thing that popped out in terms of like trivia specifics would be it was either here or Juvie Hall, right? Like he says, like
that or like Sean's dad gives him the bedroom.
But we also, I mean, we know the juvenile hall sort of thing from, it's either like go like get locked up or go to Tokyo, right? Like we kind of knew that, but that's not necessarily new here. Which of these is not a rule that Sean must obey while living in Tokyo? So what are your answers here?
Oh, they're go to school, come back home right after, be anywhere near a car.
So I need the 4th answer, the correct answer, which is actually in this sort of the wrong answer.
Yeah, what is the wrong answer?
Come home right after school, go to school, don't go near cars, respect your Noodle Grandma. We just give a.
I was gonna say something like try not to sleep with Yakuza bosses' girlfriends. Like I had a similar idea of like this is an easy one, and it's gonna be like no canoodling with the Yakuza. Because like his dad, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, look, we didn't have a trivia question last time. We don't have a trivia question this time. We need a question. We can't just have 2 straight.
I
minutes,
agree.
So
I agree.
It can be a giveaway, easy question. So we went from minute 14, the 7th, the next trivia question, minute 16, the rules. Minute 15 in between something, but that didn't have a trivia question. Oh, a hooker leaving, balled up bathrobes, rumpled blankets, books all over the place. Yes. Good name.
These are really great names. That makes me happy.
I know that people enjoy this show for reasons I do not understand, but I also do wonder if anybody enjoys the show as much as you do sometimes.
No, I don't think anybody does. All of this is just making for me to laugh, right? Like that's
Okay, so minute 16, the rules. Which of these is not a rule that Sean must obey while living in Tokyo? Go to school, come home right after school, don't go near cars, don't canoodle with the Yakuza.
you guys should get that one. There you go, little easy one.
Boy, I hope so.
I hope so.
Okay, anything else to say about this minute?
No, get me the fuck out of Sean's dad's house, the most boring fucking place we could see in all of Tokyo.
Although I think it is fitting, though, to have, like, military dad's house be boring.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, no, that should be boring. It should not be good.
Yeah, it's like just a lot of books, a lot of like stuff tucked away somewhere, and like also just chaos, but bland chaos.
Okay, Joe, on the streets, news about the Fast and Furious. I don't know why. I have so many things here. What have you seen? Have you seen anything of news? And again, news is not necessarily about the Fast and Furious movies because there's no news about that, but news you have seen in the last few weeks about the Fast and Furious.
Just stuff that they posted in the Discord for us, like there's a new book coming out. Like, what is it? It's Welcome to the Family, the explosive story behind the Fast and the Furious that Wes pointed out to us, so that'll be cool.
Then we may or may not be talking to the author next lap.
We might or might not be talking to the author before the book comes out, so that's something to get excited about. What do you have in news, bud? Start going, and I'll see if I have anything that I remember in between.
So within like 3 hours of recording the last episode, I think we recorded a day early because...
Well, we always get this, though. It happens every fucking... You guys don't understand that, like, Joey and I will be like, okay, have a good night, bud. And then, like, Joey will send me a message. It'll be like, well, there's been giant news in the last 13 minutes. And we're like, fuck.
This is a serious thing to start things off. Vin Diesel gets 4 claims dismissed in assistance sex abuse lawsuit. I remember sort of recently, someone was like, what's up with that? We're like, oh, right.
We haven't heard anything about it, yeah.
But he got a court to throw out his 4 employment discrimination claims against him on Tuesday. This is, June 3rd. But still faces allegations of sexual battery and a wrongful termination brought by a former assistant. So there's still, pending stuff there. But he's posting through it. Not about this, obviously, but he's posting through it.
You said the date on that was June 3rd. So that was the last time we recorded.
Yes.
Gives me a good chronology point for later. Thank you.
Yes. I have 2 YouTube things saved. Like, I just put a link in the thing, and I just was like, okay. I shared this. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was very cool, though. Posted by the Fast and Furious X Lego group. There was a video. They did a 3-minute The Race Never Ends. Did you guys watch this? Or no? It was a very cool making of, let me do this, share sound.
I do notoriously bad with YouTube videos. Like, I'm always like, oh, cool, that sounds
this was
good,
also
I'll
your birthday
watch
weekend, and you were otherwise unavailable, so I sent it. I know that I sent it when the time when we're not going to watch this. There's also an 18-minute behind the scenes making of, but it's very cool. Like it's so many like little details, but it's them jumping out of the plane,
very cool.
And it's jumping from tower to tower. Like it's super cool. The guys who made it love Legos and cars and Fast and Furious, and I would highly recommend seeing The Race Never Ends. Fast and Furious X Lego group posted by the Fast Saga 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Lego has been fucking crushing it. Like, I mean, I think Lego always did really good, but there was that period where, like, Lego was about to go bankrupt or whatever. But, like, all these, like, collaborations that they do now are so good. I'm a giant fan. Like, I mean,
yesterday, big news for my neck of the woods. They announced a Lego X-Files set, and I'm just like, oh boy, that is going to be
Is it going to be, like, a diorama, or is it,
I do not know.
Okay. Because, they did, like, the Seinfeld one that's, like, Jerry's apartment or whatever. But, like, that's cool,
like, if it's Mulder's... It could be, like, Mulder's office, theoretically. It could be, figures. I'm trying to think what else, like, famous sets there were on the X-Files. And there's not... I mean, it's Mulder's office, really. I don't know. But I have in here... I think we might have talked about it in an episode. I don't know, maybe not. But I have the Lego Technic, the Supra MK4, which is the big one. Then I have the 2 little cars. I have Suki's car, which just came out. And I also have Brian's Nissan Skyline from... the second movie also, so I have to put those together. But I mean, I'm not like I was a Lego kid growing up.
I'm sitting next to a giant box of all of Rachel's unbuilt Legos in this in the recording room too. So like, I mean, like there's like 13 sets probably sitting here. Just
I was a Lego kid growing up, and not like I would love to buy more. Like there's like the Dune ornithopter, like the dragonfly thing. I'm like, I really want to, but I'm like, I don't want to spend $130. I also don't know what to do with it, but like it's super cool.
That's what Rachel's hitting. She's hitting the tipping point of like display. Like she has so many that she's just like, if I build them, where am I going to put them when I build them? So
So, we'll see. I can put a car somewhere, but I don't know where I'll put the ornithopter. So check out The Race Never Ends on the Fast Saga's YouTube. There's also a drift coaster tease, which I sent you guys, a 38-second thing, also posted by the Fast Saga for the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift.
When does it come out? When does it come out?
Next year sometime.
Next year sometime. Okay, cool.
Yep.
We'll make it out there whenever it releases. Like, whenever they open it up, we'll make it out there.
Mm-hmm. But it's a 38-second teaser.
It's going to be in California only,
It's
right?
in California, yeah.
Okay,
it's
cool.
a crazy thing where it's like the coaster has a car that, like, steers independently of the track,
yeah.
so it's drifting, which is going to be intense. I said that Margaret's going to watch it from the ground.
Rachel usually has one ride in her, and then she's motion sick the rest of the day. And the ride needs to have been, like, prepped with, like, 4 Dramamine on the front end, is usually how she handles it, too. So you and I can be coaster buds if you want.
Rachel texted saying, "I don't have anywhere to put them," crying emoji.
So
she heard you.
Okay, yep. Nice.
So a bunch of other things, these, again, in no order other than just chronological. Darren Aronofsky circling A24 film Breakthrough, co-starring Dwayne Johnson. So this is what we talked about the last
We saw the trailer. Yeah, I watched the trailer.
No, not that one. That's Smashing Machine. This is the other one where you're like, does A24 need him? Does he need A24?
That's right, yeah.
And then you said, with Darren Aronofsky circling it, you feel better about it.
Yeah, I think so.
There's also a couple things, because as we record this tonight, F1 comes out. My friend saw it on Monday. There was like a sneak preview on Monday. He said it was great.
He said it was great, and we talked about the drivers' reactions to it last time.
Which is not. I just think for like normal people, like they're gonna love it. Like I think it's gonna be.
I
good.
think so too.
Including ourselves, at least me, and you might be like, oh, well, the F1 of it all or whatever, right? But I think for me, I'm just gonna.
No, I think I'll enjoy it. I like You like racing movies. I like car movies.
Yep.
I'm going to see it with Rachel this weekend because mini spoilers. I will be on Out Now with Aaron and Abe to talk about it with them. So I'm telling you guys now because I'm sure the episode will come out sometime around this one, and go check for that if you want to hear me talk about F1 with Aaron and Abe.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah.
He didn't ask me. I think he's stop asking me to do that show because I don't usually see. There's very few movies I see like opening weekend, because now with Margaret, she's like, I want to see it. It's like, well, we don't have time, so like we'll figure out time to see it. So.
Yeah, you're in the middle of other stuff, but he seems to. I mean, Aaron called me for what was it, Gran Turismo, because so I think that he calls me when he knows that there's a blockbustery car movie.
Very cool.
Works for me.
I'm not the car guy.
It works for me.
Two things, though, about F1. Number one, Brad Pitt would act with Tom Cruise again, but only on the ground. Quote, I'm not going to hang my ass off airplanes and shit like that. Because I think on the last one we were talking about how they thought about having Tom Cruise in the F1 thing, then he's going to be like dead set on driving, right? And so
I saw a really cool video that just came out like in the past couple days that McLaren let Brad Pitt drive one of the previous year F1 cars like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Okay.
Like around the track, kind of his promo for this, or something, right? And his reaction getting out of the car was like he was pretty speechless. He was like, "Whoa, holy, wow!" That's like, he's like, I wasn't on a horse that big yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could just see that, like the step that he took and like how fast the car can go. He was like, "Oh!" Like you often hear it, like there was a kid, I forget which one it was. I think it was one of the rookies, but like one of his first like practice sessions, Joey, they like call him in the radios and he's like, "Oh my God, this thing is so fast. It's so fast. It's so like that's all he's doing on the radio. And they're like, like, how's everything going out there? And he's like, "It's so fast. It's so fast." So Brad Pitt had a similar reaction I saw in a video. It's pretty cool.
So I'm very excited for that. But then there's also news out today or recently that they want to do an F1 sequel, which again I would think should be called F2, which reunites Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in a Days of Thunder crossover, says the director Joseph Kosinski. Quote, who wouldn't pay to see those two on the track? So he's like really, because again, Top Gun Maverick guy, he's trying to get Tom Cruise out there. He's like, I don't want him in the first movie, but now if this movie does well, because the thing I was
that would be kind of
today,
sick, to be honest, and that's like a smart. Like, when we say, like, why don't we have, like, a crossover between, like, Fast and the Furious and Transformers or shit like that? Like, this is when it's like, yeah, if you could do Days of Thunder and then Brad Pitt F1 and you have Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, yeah, just do it, right? Like, who says no?
Right. I was reading today, I think it was in Walt's newsletter, that this movie costs so much money and it really needs to get good word of mouth, because, like, F1 people are going to go see it this weekend regardless, like, F1 fans, but it's like, how do you tap into that next wave of people? And it's like, well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We mentioned this on the Fast and Furious episode, but Reaction Rocket got retweeted, quote tweeted by Ludacris. So shout out once again
Congrats,
to Reaction
bud.
Rocket.
That's super cool. It's so cool.
Oh, right. Speaking of Walt's newsletter, this was from June 18th, Numlock News. Also, Walt sent me a screenshot. Apparently, Apple Podcast has like a transcription option, and so he sent me a screenshot of us talking about him, about listening to these episodes. So again, hi Walt, you're always on our minds. But he wrote
I just got
the
alpha test set of what is it? Person Do Thing, the game that was
very cool.
interviewed, like Walt interviewed his buddy that made the game. So I'm excited. Cool. I just got it in the mail today when I walked in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. This was on June 18th. It said, I learned it by watching you. An 80-year-old man drove a Mercedes down these Spanish steps in Rome,
yes,
getting stuck in the middle of the Enterprise. Eventually, the vehicle was removed by crane. The 135 travertine steps, built in the 1720s, are near the Spanish embassy to the Holy See and have never been intended for motor vehicles. That is, unless you hate movies. Driving a car down the Spanish Steps is a crucial action point, unless I'm mistaken, both the most recent Fast and Furious and as well as the penultimate Mission Impossible movie. Walt, you are not mistaken. You are correct on both of those accounts.
We have this like weird, what am I going to call it? Like, what was the movie with the mailbox where you like leave a letter in the mailbox and they like write back and forth? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, The Lake House.
The Lake House?
Keanu? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have like a very Lake House relationship with Walt, at least I do, that I feel like he writes these Fast and the Furious things in numlock to be like, hey, because he knows we're reading it, and we talk about Walt knowing that he's probably listening. Love you, Walt. That's all I want to say.
Go check out Numlock News.
It's so much fun, dude. I share numlock news with all of my like friends. Like, it's one of my favorite things.
I think this was also shared in the
it might
have been shared in Discord, but Nico's friend Tori sent it to us. They were on a game show called Game Changers on Dropout TV, which is a streaming platform I did not know exist until somebody on the Comedy Bang Bang world in that orbit has a show on there.
Okay.
There's another show called Game Changer, and Demi Adejuyigbe, who wrote the Fast and Furious, the night before Fast and Furious, which we read on one Fastivus, maybe the first Fastivus.
And who did all the 21st Night of Septembers.
Mm-hmm. He was tasked to, on this game show, name all the Fast and Furious movies. And he said also the other two, but he was not referring to Hobbs and Shaw. He does not consider Hobbs and Shaw canon. He was talking about Turbocharged Prelude and Los Bandoleros. But he mentions he kills it, obviously. So
yeah,
very cool. Good
He's
job.
A fan.
Once again, shout out to Demi.
Shout out to Demi. He never wants to talk to us. I always wanted to talk to Demi.
I know, but he's too big. He's legitimately famous. So
it's crazy, you know. Like he's in a tier that's like way too famous to ever talk to us, but like. He's not like on the soup or something, you know what I mean? But close. Good job, Demi.
I mean, he could just be like on a, not that we're not, but he could be on a real podcast. He could be on like How Does It Get Made to talk about these.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's that kind of.
Exactly. Yes.
There was news on Collider, which is not Screen Rant, but basically this seems very similar. And I was like, what? I saw this headline because it came through in the Fast and Furious Google Alerts digest, and I was like, what? And the headline was, Sinners sinks Vin Diesel's $90 million hit that Roger Ebert defended despite 29% Rotten Tomatoes score. So the
what does that mean? Okay.
Point of this is that Sinners passed $360 million at the worldwide box office.
Okay.
Which means it made more money than Fast and Furious number 4. And then, so this whole thing is just like, hey, Sinners made a whole bunch of money. It made more money than this movie that stunk, but Ebert loved. It's like, why are you taking this movie down? This movie's 16 years old by this point. There have been 7 Fast and Furious movies since then. Relax, guy.
They've made $1 billion. Like, what the fuck was that article about? What's your problem, bud? What's your beef with Fast 4?
It's like, Joe, you got a raise at work. Congratulations. You now make more money than that limp dick guy over there who's got a fat wife. It's just like, hold on, wait, don't take that guy down.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Say that you got a raise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Very weird. I was like, well, how does this have anything to do? It doesn't. It just passed the threshold, and I'm like, okay.
Or it's like you got a raise, you make more money than you did 14 years ago, and you're like, yeah, you'd think so, right? Like, cool, okay.
Another bit of news, this is really sort of stretching it past, Fast and Furious, but I just saw it, and I was like, maybe not, but Augustine Frizzell, who directed Never Going Back, which we both love.
Yeah.
Is directing a new Netflix movie starring Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
They refer to her as Euphoria director Augustine Frizzell. I guess she did some episodes of Euphoria. But
oh, that's cool. And that also would track, just like aesthetically. Ronda Rousey back in a movie. Interessant.
Mm-hmm. There was also a thing, did I see today?
Do you think she's gotten better at acting?
Can't get worse.
Touche, brother. Touche.
There was a thing. Steven Soderbergh has a new movie coming out. He had 2 come out this year, and he's got one going to TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. And I said to Bob, I'm like, I love how many movies this guy makes. And he's like, yeah, but James Corden's this one. I was like, ugh, okay. But maybe Corden, maybe this is like Ascension, because, Soderbergh did Gina Carano in Haywire, which rules, and she was just like an MMA person. Now she's, crazy or whatever. But
James Corden, isn't it, though?
James Corden's in the new Soderbergh. Maybe he's going to be his Ascension. I don't know. I'm not going to judge it before. He loves doing non-actors.
James Corden is
even though he's an actor.
Is so close to Billy Eichner in texture for me that I can't.
I think Billy Eichner is pure. I think
James is manufactured.
I think so.
I think so too. I do love the Cars sing along thing. That's cute. The one that he did with Paul McCartney is excellent. We get drunk and watch that every couple. Did you ever see this?
Carpool Karaoke?
Yeah, but he did one with Paul McCartney, and they go to Liverpool, and Paul McCartney they put a jukebox in this bar, and the first person comes up and plays a Beatles song, and the curtains open and it's Paul McCartney playing the song.
Oh no, I've not seen that.
It's really cool. Highly recommended. If it, he's giddy that he's hanging out with Paul McCartney. It's 12 or 15 minutes. They go around Liverpool, do a bunch of stuff. They do that. It's cool. You should watch it.
Very cool. Okay. Also, you mentioned before, the Welcome to the Family book by Barry Hertz is coming out November 25th of this year, so go pre-order that on Amazon if you want. And, the only other thing, it's not a link that I have, but on July 2nd on Amazon Prime, so this is tomorrow if you're listening on the main feed, or next week for everybody else, there's a new movie out called Head of State, which is where the President of the United States, played by John Cena, and the Prime Minister of the UK, played by Idris Elba. I'm like,
oh my God. Okay.
Not exactly
what the hell
friends
is this?
under the best of circumstances, must team up and go on the run to defeat a global conspiracy after their own security forces are easily overcome in a straight-to-streaming action comedy from the director of Nobody and Hardcore Henry, Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, Patty Considine, Jack Quaid, Stephen Root, and Carlo Gugino also star. So it's out on Prime July 2nd called Head of State. But I'm just like,
we should watch that. We definitely should.
Idris and Cena.
Being a goofy buddy cop troop, this is just a knockoff Hobbs and Shaw.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fun. Well, also, one that people might actually watch. I don't know.
I don't think so. Not if it's going straight to Prime streaming, but sure.
Well, but on 4th of July weekend, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be...
It's about the president. It's John Cena and Idris. It's Red Notice.
I'm just, the more that we go on, it's we could also talk about Brie Larson news. It's there's so many names that they've just added that it's not really news about the Fast and Furious. Idris
that one's a good
movie.
That's a good one, though. That one's good.
Yeah,
2 of
crossover,
them.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all the news, I think.
All the news that's fit to print.
It was a lot of news.
It was a lot of news. It was. Good job, Reaction Rocket, for getting Ludacris to respond to you, bud. That's fucking awesome. Stoked for you, bud.
All right, let us run the VIN.
I scared him off, dude.
Vin
I feel
Diesel's
bad.
Instagram.
I'm feeling some kind of way.
He did post one 45 minutes ago, though, so there is one more.
Okay. He knew we were recording tonight. Okay.
We have 4, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This first one is a video. Caption says, all love, ...
You know what I just connected in my head that I haven't connected before yet?
What's that?
Did I say it to you recently that, Rachel and I use the Morgan Wallen "Get Me to God's Country" all the time? Why haven't we? I haven't meshed it to "Get Me to Bear Country."
Ooh.
A nice crossover.
So here is all love ...
Okay.
And quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us. Someday, a time for us.
God, I have so much to say.
It's time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living.
How long is
We'll
this?
find a new way of forgiving. Somewhere.
Who's recording this?
There's a place for us
What are they doing?
Time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there.
What?
Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Someday
I can't hit those eye catchers.
down the circle. Somewhere.
I think they're smoking weed together.
Probably.
And how is he playing it like off a phone?
Rita, she's a legend.
Yeah, he's stoned again. They're both stoned again. These two just hang out and smoke weed together all day,
So they're
don't
sitting
they?
at like a piano,
Yeah, because he played one note.
and they're listening to the song Somewhere from West Side Story.
Yes.
And Vin's doing most of the singing, and Michelle sort of joins in at the end. The top comment from Julio Roca, you didn't perform that, ... You survived it. And we felt the residue of your healing. I don't know what that means.
I thought that he was saying you did really shit and this sounds bad, but it has 403 likes and apparently did good, so... Who recorded this video, Joey? Because it moved. So there was a person that was behind that camera. That's not a stationary camera.
Maybe his sister was looking for the first Producers Guild of America credit on a Instagram reel.
If I had a female friend / coworker that I was taking videos of this with, like, how do you think Margaret or Rachel would react to these?
Are you saying, like, if you're Vin and you're, like, with Michelle?
Yeah, singing West Side Story, stoned.
I don't know.
At a piano.
I don't think that there's anything going on here.
I don't think there's anything going on there. I don't either.
And I think
that they
people,
genuinely...
I think people just know. I think the fact that, like, in the movies, we talk about this all the time, that they had very steamy hookups in the first movie, but then since then, it's just been like, is there a baby in there? Like, that's the level. Like, it's not. I don't think there's any issue.
I don't think so either. But these are like very like sensual videos.
I was
going
gonna say, I think they're almost like brother and sister, even though they play.
But they are
husband and wife, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way, I think they're stoned again. That's why they were singing. I am very proud whenever somebody loves doing something so much like singing that they just put a raw video out of them doing it because of their passion, is what I'll say. Vin, don't stop posting videos, please.
For anybody keeping track at home, that video was 2 minutes and 5 seconds long.
It felt every bit of 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
So Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I think this is just a toy. I don't think this is a prop. I think it's meant to be like, oh my god, they're big, but I think it's just...
Yeah, I think he has it like on a table outside and just took a very close-up picture of it, yeah.
He says, congratulations to the whole team at Mattel, ... The launch of Mattel Studios this week is great for the industry, ... Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Okay.
The top
I
comment,
want that,
was this
though.
your favorite toy back when you were growing up? He did not respond.
I would love to have like the official Vin Rock'em, like Welcome to Rock'em Sock'em production kit. You know what I mean? Get what I'm saying? I'm sure that this is like a Mattel sent this to him and it's like, to Vin Diesel, can't wait for the movie. And like I want that version of it that says that on the bottom.
Yeah, because like the ropes here, like it looks too pristine to actually have been like used. You know what I mean? Like that's not like the one that he grew up with.
No. It looks really, really new too. Like this, like the assembly and the plastic shaping. It's like too modern. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Another video.
It's more propaganda that he's shooting himself with drones. See?
Vin.
Okay. Joey, do you want to say it or you want me to say it?
The saga continues. ...
You gonna say it or you want me to say it?
What? Find Your Bear Country?
No. That he just fucking... The shot that he's using is the logo for Too Fast.
Oh.
He was literally recreating that in video form for us. It's the first logo of Too Fast. He's doing...
And it's still our current... Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Jeez.
It's just... You just didn't recognize it in video form, but it's the same thing.
The top comment here is very smart. Just says family button to the right with an arrow. Click the like, 7,000 likes almost, or 6,000 likes. You know what I mean? So
Smart play.
And then the only other one posted 45 minutes ago As a champion of the theatrical experience, I must say today, ... I am feeling optimistic. So Dominic Toretto is going to save Shaw's sister in Fantastic Four?
I got an idea for the title of the episode.
Okay.
3-time heavyweight theatrical experience champion.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Super heavyweight, intercontinental, 3-time intercontinental. What is it, like uncontested?
3-time heavyweight theatrical champion.
3-time heavyweight theatrical champion.
That works. I like it.
Theatrical experience champion.
Okay.
Sorry.
3-time heavyweight theatrical experience champion.
Because what was the title that he just says, as a champion of the theatrical experience?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I wonder if you get a belt for that.
Should we say instead of heavyweight? Because we're not making fun of his weight because that's also just a class.
That's true.
Like,
fair.
I wonder
fair.
if we should say 3-time optimistic theatrical experience champion because he says, feeling
yes,
optimistic.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. I wanted to give it a class because I thought it was fun. Like, you're like 2-time.
Yes.
Undisputed.
Optimistic. Oh, undisputed optimistic. Okay.
Yeah.
What do we say we are? We're premier and dedicated?
Yeah.
Undisputed.
The undisputed premier dedicated. My buddy Dylan still will. I'll say something. I'll be like, I ain't fucking doing that today. He'll be like, because you're not premier or dedicated enough to do it. And I'm like, that's fucking hysterical, brother. Thank you for that.
It just, we're not.
Shout out to everybody that's premier and dedicated.
There's also the Vin Diesel Instagrams. There's only 4 of them, but again, there was only 3 until 45 minutes ago, and then...
Keep posting, Vin. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I hope you're feeling better, bud. You and Michelle did great. You guys looked like you were sober, and you sang beautifully.
We have a Patreon page, toofast2forever.com. Shout out to Alex Ellen and Justin Kleiman and Brian Rodriguez of Fatherhood.
Ooh.
Wes Hampton, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke, Hayden Renato, D. Donato, Michael McGann, Lane Middleton, Lindsay Lewandowski, Nate Milton of the Kings of Sport, Jason Rainey, Tom Price, Mike Gallagher, Josh Buckley of Whole Lotta Wolves,
Yep.
Michael Moser, Christian Larson, Tara Newone, Aaron Willows, Natalie Absolute, Randy Carter, Josh Goularm, Alex Walsh, Jack Haley, and Jessica Collins, a.k.a. Montez. Thank you so much for supporting us the $5 a month level or above. You all, on Monday, will get the bonus episode of Born to Race, which is Aaron Willows' pick for this lap. Born to Race coming out on Monday. And every 2 Mondays, every other week, you get a bonus episode all year long. Too Fast, toforever.com. Even $1 a month gets you in the door. We're doing polls over there. Oh, the other poll closed. Let's see what the winner is. Because there was one that was up by 2, surprisingly.
Interesting. What is it?
So we're going to do later this lap Gattaca. Gattaca edged out.
Oh,
Jurassic
good
Park.
movie. Have you seen this movie before?
I have not.
Oh, fuck yes. Okay, cool.
6 of the 16 people who voted for Gattaca.
It's
So
good.
Alex Walsh, I think, voted for Fear and Loathing. He was the only person who voted for that, I think. Or
Yes.
maybe not 2 people voted. I don't know. But he said, I'll move mine if there's a tie, move to Jurassic Park, use that as the edge. But Gattaca was up by 2 votes or 1 vote or something. I don't know. But Gattaca wins.
Cool. Good shit.
So we'll do that later this lap. But yes, the next episode coming out, Born to Race, and then every 2 weeks you get a bonus episode, early access to every other episode.
Good
stickers,
choice, guys.
all
Good
sorts of
choice
fun
on the
stuff.
Gattaca, friends. I like that. Thank you. Thank you.
We also have an email address, family@cageclub.me. And Joe, we've got a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of Patreon comments. There's some YouTube comments. There's a couple real emails. First
unpack
off, let's
it.
do the Patreon stuff. Randy Carter comments on our episode, The Great Value Theatrical Experience. Who's on that submarine? He says, Mr. Nobody, 100% on that submarine.
Okay. Mr. Nobody's driving the sub. Or it's on it. Okay. I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Not just women, also Mr. Nobody.
That's what we really need. You know what we kept saying, like the female-led one or like the Michelle Rodriguez one? We need fucking Charlie's Angels with Mr. Nobody is what we really need.
Like he's Charlie?
He's Charlie. You get Michelle. You get Mia. You get Charlize. Throw in Ramsey and Gal. And there you go. You got Charlie's Angels.
On the 90s poll that just ended, Kevin B says Jackie Brown for the win. Sorry, Jackie Brown did not win. Sorry about that.
Bud.
Wingman Wolo, Aaron, says, oh man, I'm torn. On one hand, I'd love to hear you guys take on Gattaca, but my downright love for Jurassic Park has me voting that way. Well, you're going to hear our take on Gattaca.
You got
Jeff
your
says,
second wish.
I voted Gattaca, but these are all winners, so you'll also get that. Then Jerry left 3 comments on different posts.
Okay, what's up, Jerry?
On the Great Value Theatrical Experience, Jerry says, wire action, likely refers to wire fu, a special effects technique used in film and theater where actors are suspended by wires.
Like
to
Crouching
perform
Tiger.
stunts, and
that
create
makes
the illusion
sense.
of flying or enhanced physical abilities. It can also refer to the Ninja Wire Action Experience, a unique activity in Tokyo, where participants learn and perform ninja-style wire stunts.
That's cool. Makes sense.
He also, on that same episode, said Ileana's a big Swiftie. I'm not, in parentheses, he says, but she got some good songs like Lavender Haze, Sounds Like Weed.
Yeah.
But not to that extreme about knowing the next album. Good thing we have Spotify, so she doesn't have to buy the album twice. Her top 5 last year on Spotify was all Taylor. Well, shout out to Ileana. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You got Swiftie friends here, lady. You do.
On the Festivus, well, one friend at least.
No, I mean like between Rachel and you
sure.
and like everybody. There's
Most of the world.
It's most of the world. There's in this community as well. There's Swiftie friends. Not me, but there is.
Jerry also commented on the Festivus episode, said, I feel like for Letty, if she can't get in by the 5th time, well, she's 0-6 so far. Maybe give her a legacy option. WWE does it all the time. Yeah, they'll be in the Hall of Fame, but under a lesser tier type shit.
Oh.
I don't want to, I don't, if she's
Lifetime
going to be in, let her be in, not like a lesser tier.
So you're not a fan of the WNBA. You just want them to play with the mans. That's what you're saying?
Well, he's not saying that. He's just saying that, like, there's a Hall of Fame in the WNBA.
You're saying
but
you
it's
don't
not.
want her to be a lesser. You said she should compete at the highest level.
There is on the season finale of The Simpsons from this current year, in the future, Lisa is running the NBA, which is formerly the WNBA, but the WNBA has become so big that they're now the NBA, and the regular NBA, our existing NBA, becomes the MNBA, the Men's National Basketball Association.
That's a good joke. That's a really good joke.
So, yeah, I don't know. I also think, like, Bill Simmons a long time ago talked about his, like, pyramid tier Hall of Fame for basketball. Like, you should have, like, Bill Russell at the top. Like, Bill Russell, then somebody else is not equivalent. Like, Bill
Somebody
Russell's-
said that it was Deion Sanders. He was like, we just letting everybody into the Hall of Fame now? I thought you were supposed to be good. Like, there was somebody that got, like, into the Football Hall of Fame, and he was like, you're tarnishing my legacy by putting me next to this guy. And I was like, whoa, damn. Like, I don't know. I forget who it was, but he was like, damn, we really letting this guy in here? Like, I thought this was about famous people that, like, were really good. And I was like, God damn, yeah. But I do see that there should be a general and then, like, the stars, right? You get a gold star, right?
Also, this is not related to the show, but you probably heard rumors about it, but just confirmed on the AP, the NHL is moving to 84 games.
I mean, that's not a huge deal. I saw, like, the CBA things. It was like, what was it? It was like...
It says increase number of regular season games to 84, shorten the
Yeah.
maximum length of contracts, and add a playoff salary cap for the first time.
Yeah,
Extend
that's
the
good.
regular
That's
season from
because that's
13
not
to 12
fucking...
games at 1344 would also come with curtailing exhibition play.
Yeah, there was something like if you're a more veteran player, you can't play in more than 2 preseason games. So they kind of like did the whole like take a preseason away, like the NFL did, to give you more like actual games. Whatever, you had go from 82 to 84. You added 2 games. Woo, right? That's not a big deal. But I don't know if I'd like it as a player. The other things were good though. The long term injury. I don't know if anybody knows this, but in the NHL, we've been like bitching about this for a while, that if you're on injured reserve going into the playoffs, you can sit on injured reserve. The cap doesn't count. The cap hit for this player doesn't count. And as soon as the playoffs start, there's no salary cap in the playoffs.
Oh, that's stupid.
So what's been happening is you get a guy that like gets like injured or maybe was injured, and they kind of like pump the brakes on him, and they trade for somebody during the trade deadline. So now they're $10 million over the cap. They just let him skate around and not play, and then activate him the day that the playoffs start. And so now, yeah, it's really shitty. The Tampa Bay Lightning did this when they won their back-to-back cups. They like just let a guy, like one of the best goal scorers in the league, sit on the IR all season and just brought him back for playoffs, and they won again. And everybody was like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "Yeah, because you fucking cheated." It's really stupid. So yes, this is cool. Thank you for letting me explain that.
Of course. Next email. Oh, also in the same thing, he said regarding duos and trios, because we had, if you did not listen to the Festivus episode, talking about possibly adding, instead of just having characters, make it duos and trios.
Yes.
It says there'll be a lot of characters getting in multiple times, so limit the characters to at least duos, 2 duos. Brian and Dom and Jacob, for example.
Okay.
After that, Dom can't get in, so no more Dom Letty, Dom Mia, Dom Cypher.
That's fair.
We could do that.
But I thought we said we were doing no duos, right?
No, we
What
were
was the
talking about doing
conclusion?
duos
We
or
were
maybe
still
trios.
pitching it. Okay.
We're still pitching it. We've not landed on a thing.
I don't remember if we got to like a place that we were like, oh yeah, that's why we want to or not want to do this. So
No, it's just because I wanted to, because it was the thing that YouTube, on the YouTube channel, the Fast Saga posted, and I wanted to toy with the idea. I'm not sure if I'm sold on it yet or not, but, you know.
we'll get ready for next year. We'll think about it.
We also have 3 YouTube comments. First on the Riddick movie from 2013. Jonas Talgiz, 8972, just says crying, laughing, 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 crying, laughing emojis.
So you just laughing and crying? He just had a good time listening to the episode?
I guess so.
Cool.
Estrella Gaspard, T8J, comments on our Fast and Furious Spy Racers South Pacific.
Okay.
I'll have to bring out the Google Translate for this one. Translating from French to English, this is the best cartoon in the world.
Okay.
Thank you for
Damn.
that. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Also, you're wrong, but I appreciate it. And then on Seconds from 1966, which you did in the memory loss lap, Merced H8Z says, no movie, thumbs down emoji.
Thank you. That was more on brand for what I was expecting.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Good job. No movie, thumbs down.
All right, we've got 3 emails to write in. First up from Jerry again, subject line movie to watch. Hey guys, I got a movie recommendation for you called Heart Eyes, which we both saw.
We
talked
saw
about
Hard
it.
Eyes in theaters.
He
Yeah,
says,
bud.
on Netflix is a horror comedy with Jordana Brewster as a cop named Shaw. Her partner
Loved
is
it.
named Hobbs.
Loved it. It was a ton of fun. I've been watching more summertime scaries lately too, so yes, that's a top tier one. I wanted to rewatch it, but it's been too recent since we've seen it. So
I'm not sure which we're going to do yet. We have to talk about it, but there are 3 options for this year's Halloween movie, and that's one of them. There's another one that Mark wants to do, and another one that also would fit, and I think would be really fun, and it's a very fun movie too. So that is one of 3 options, because there's so many, especially as the franchise, like we were just talking about, like, oh, there's a new Cena Idris movie, whatever, as the franchise grows out.
It's so big that
Yep.
you're gonna get overlap, and it's gonna be like it's 2 of them, and you're like, well, there's 70 of them. So
But I also do think that, like, if there are movies that are Vin or Michelle or Jordana, it's just like those are like OG enough that
Locks.
Like, that just
Locks.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
They can only be
yeah.
one. Also, of course, if Paul was still alive, but you know.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, we have an email from Jack. Subject line: Fast 11 guaranteed scenes. He says, "Hey, Fast fam, I rewatched Fast 1 this week, probably around my 8th time, and was reminded of how classic it is."
Amen.
8 times, rookie numbers.
I know. I that's the first thing I thought too. Start pumping my chest.
The race war scene had me thinking about whether or not it was a slam dunk that race wars would be revisited in Fast 11. With LA being a location for Fast 11, do you guys think we can add a race war scene to the list of scenes we're guaranteed to see in Fast 11? Find Your Bear Country, Jack.
I'm going to answer this again diplomatically. When? I think that they probably try to go to race wars. That would make sense. I think that you're dead on, especially if they're in LA. I think Vin's probably going to have them shoot some kind of race war scene. Are they going to be able to time fit it into the movie considering all the other things that we need to do and want them to do? I don't know. What do you think? Is it a lock that we get a race war scene?
I mean, we got Race Wars to come back in Furious 7, so clearly they don't care that, like, Race Wars is named Race
It's
Wars.
problematic. Yeah, named problematic. I don't think that they care about that. I'm saying, like, do we have the time for it, Joey?
What I think we could do, possibly, is the same way, like, at the beginning of Fate when, you know, Dom calls Hobbs and is like, we need to get a team together, whatever. We see him on the phone. Maybe in Fate, or maybe in F11, if it's the final one, if we're assuming it's the final one, maybe they're like, we need all hands on deck, and they call Hector, and Hector's at Race Wars. So it's not like a Race Wars scene, but we see Hector, and he's
No,
at...
or like, hey, Hector's like, come on, guys, we need to get there to save Dom. And they do the, like, tuner scramble from Race Wars. I was thinking that, too. It has to be, like, that has to be the Wakanda everybody shows up scene, if anything, right? Like Hector pulls in for, like, guys, like, we need some help. And it's like, Hector's like, got you. And he, like, pulls up. He's like, we just came from Race Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, maybe not directly, but it can fit storyline. I don't know. It's just a lot. There's a lot that we know that they need to do, unless they do My Magic. What a crazy damn adventure, and start there.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're back
What
in
if
LA...
Vin stopped posting on Instagram because he heard me say that, and he's like, God damn it, I have to write a new beginning to this movie, and he's mad at me because
You think he's not going to make Louis Leterrier, like, do it on the airplane over to shoot Fast 11 like he did last time?
no, I don't think he can do that anymore. I think that's probably explicitly in this Universal contract. This is part of the negotiations. They're like, you're not fired. Like, the fucking director's not quitting week 2. where you aren't sitting there in Rome for a month, just in a trailer hanging out. Like
Yeah,
none of this
I
shit.
think to the point that he's making, the point that you're making, I don't think that being in LA was the deterrent to Race Wars. I think it's the fact that the movie's already gonna be 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
That's what I'm
we have
thinking.
too much to talk about.
Yes, that's my only concern. Yes. It would be a good shout out though, but also like they could also just like not give a fuck, like we've seen them do too, and just let Race Wars be dead.
Yes.
So
The last email we have from Wes Hampton, and he has not written in a while, and this is basically, he's been saving this up for seemingly months. Here we go.
what's up, Wes?
Box, set, and movie theory.
Okay.
What up, fam? I know I'm a consistent presence on the Discord, but it's been a while since I've written in, and I felt like you deserved a nice long mess of an email to keep you from getting too comfortable. Here we go.
Okay, let's unlock it.
Margaret doesn't like Joe Pera, huh? That's too bad. I was a little worried Mrs. West wouldn't either, so I held off showing it to her for a little while. Luckily, she really loves him, but she also anticipated a major plot point in season 2 that's a real difficult emotional hurdle for her. Yep. So she never finished the series. She does want to finish it eventually, so we may just have to rip off the Band-Aid soon.
Good luck. Godspeed.
It's tough. It's very sad.
I forget where I stopped. Probably somewhere around there too.
He also said, this is a very Margaret-heavy email. Margaret likes Lord of the Rings? Excellent. Good taste in life partners, Joey. I almost did a long-term Patreon scheme to make you two watch all the extended editions of the movies, and maybe some of the older animated ones across many laps, but that wouldn't have been very much fun for anyone. I have a very nostalgic love for the trilogy, but I don't like pushing things on people because that personally makes me less likely to enjoy something. Speaking of Margaret, she said to me recently, I love watching people's favorite movies with them, and I'm just like, that is so much pressure. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole thing is just like, no, like I prompt, like it's really good. It's just
You
like,
know
I don't know.
when people always say, you're like, you know, what is your favorite thing to do? Like, what's your favorite hobby or whatever? And people are like, I don't know how to answer those questions. Like, when people like ask me like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, but like, what genre? Like, I don't think I have like a definitive like 1 through 10. But if you're like, what's your favorite summertime scary movie? I'd be like, here's 6 that I like. You know what I mean? Like, I can't answer you like if you don't narrow down the.
Well, when we were at Brian's wedding and we were at the table with all of his cousins, they're like, give me a movie to watch. I'm like, Paddington 2. And they're like, what? And I'm like, come on. And then I posted, like, New York Times is currently counting down their 100 greatest movies of the 21st century. Tonight, after we record, they will release the top 20. You can do, like, as a reader, you can do your ballot. And I put Paddington, and somebody on Instagram was just like, Paddington, really? I was just like, or Paddington 2, really? I was just like, yeah, it's a perfect movie. Like.
And you're not the only one to say that.
No.
Like, a lot of people were like, no, that movie fucking, like, hits. So, yeah.
To be honest, Wes writes, the movies aren't as good if you're not really engaging with the story, and the more time I spend reading Tolkien, the less I engage with that particular version of the story. To be clear, I still love them, and I'm happy for anyone to experience Tolkien at whatever level they want, so no shade to anyone who loves the movies and isn't interested in the books. I'm not a purist. Feels like the entire history of us knowing Wes says I am a purist.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And I think people who are dismissive of the movies in favor of the books misses the point. This is true of any adaptation, not just Tolkien. I will gladly talk about the virtues of the movies to the movie fan for hours and keep my negative comments to myself.
Just let people like things, man. I get it. I'm with you, Wes.
I will say that Margaret was like, we have to watch the extended because there's so much they cut out of the thing. And then she's also like, while we're watching, she's like, well, this is also different in the book. And I'm just like, okay. Like, she's into it. She's like, after we get married, when we have more time, I'm going to reread the books. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going
Cool.
to, but go for it.
Enjoy, yeah.
This might have been a Patreon exclusive episode, so feel free to skip this point. But I feel like the robot brothel cheating question is pretty easy to answer. Yes, it was. It was Cherry 2000. We can talk about it here. Does your partner think having sex with a robot is cheating? If yes, then it is. If no, it's not. There already exist degrees to infidelity in human-to-human relationships. Adding a robot to the mix doesn't change that. I would be more concerned about the moral implications regarding keeping robots as slaves, how much self-awareness they have. More intelligence would obviously be better for business, but worse for robots. Consider Ryan Gosling's sad replicant in Blade Runner 2049. How would you feel about locking him up and making him a robot sex slave? He's already so sad. Don't do that to Ryan Gosling. Don't threaten us with a good time. A sex slave Ryan Gosling? I mean, come on.
You're talking to the two guys that don't have any moral qualms about that. Sorry.
He says,
I'll also imagine you're listening to this episode and you're just like they're just like bumbling around, and then all of a sudden Wes goes, remember that time you guys were talking about sex robot brothels? And like that's just like the tangent that this. Okay,
look, if you're not sure what's behind the paywall, that's what's behind the paywall.
$1 a month, bud. That's what you get.
I hope Dos Bandoleros happens, but I think the idea that it will end up as a YouTube short feels pretty likely. I never assumed it would get any sort of theatrical release, but figured it would at least be La Los Bandoleros and show up on a Blu-ray for Fast 10 Part 2.
Yeah.
I know Joey says no one's really making or selling Blu-rays anymore, and he would know better than me, but I think there will... Also, by the way, pause on this. One of the top sellers on Amazon this week was a Best Buy exclusive steelbook of Megan, and I'm like, Best Buy doesn't sell Blu-rays anymore. And I went to Best Buy's website and I searched for Megan Blu-ray and it didn't come up. And I'm like, how is it a Best Buy exclusive that's a new release?
Walmart distributed. Amazon distributed, Best Buy exclusive, not sold by Best Buy.
But I think there will have to be at least a budget Blu-ray release for. I mean, people are like Universal, but like it's not.
When we get the 11 disc box set, we're gonna get Dos Bandoleros on it. But for the most part, we're saying it gotta be like
correct
YouTube.
If you don't think there will be a huge F&F collection release, assuming this is actually the end of the franchise as it exists now, you're crazy. I'm positive there will be at least a limited edition big bundle collection sold through
100%.
Universal's web store.
100%. 110%.
But, I'm just saying that, like...
It comes in a charger.
Them releasing Fast 10 again with Dos Bandoleros on it is not going to encourage basically anyone to buy it. Like, that's the point I'm making. We just live in a different world.
Yeah.
I will buy it. Because I need to have every version of everything for the Fast and Furious.
Yes.
He says, which brings me to my next point. I'm a fan of silly DVD/Blu-ray collections. We have several, including the Breaking Bad collection in the barrel, a complete
That's
TMNT
a cool one.
1987 cartoon collection in a turtle van, and the big Lost collection with all the dumb accessories, Stone Game, and hidden notes. So what would your perfect F&F collection look like? I have some ideas. And he listed about 20 ideas. So here's Wes's idea for a perfect Fast and Furious Blu-ray collection.
Yes.
4K discs of all the films and tie-in shorts, obviously.
Duh.
All special features and commentaries from previous releases.
Duh.
Any director's commentaries missing from the current releases.
Okay.
Get Vin and maybe a rotating cast based on the film to record new commentaries. He writes in parentheses, I'm a commentary fan.
Yeah.
Sticker pack with the car decals from F1. A
Love
DT
it.
Dom's garage decal from F1.
Love it.
A replica of Dom's cross necklace, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Fan magazine in the style of the Super Street magazine Brian is reading in F1 with articles about the franchise. Him writing F1, like I get what he's talking about, but like with F1 coming out tonight, it's just like, I don't know. Okay. With the magazine Brian is reading in F1 with articles about the franchise, including a reprint of the original Racer X article that inspired the movie.
Love it. You're crushing this, bud.
A Toretto work shirt, parentheses, sleeveless.
That would be a tough ask to put in the DVD box set, but I like it. Okay.
A coupon for a free oil change from Jiffy Lube.
Very, very well done. Top tier. Pet Boy. I think it would be Pet Boys, because I feel like we see more Pet Boys, but whatever. Okay.
Corona bottle opener. Physical copies of the Cruise, FBI, CIA, Interpol, whatever files.
That's
tuna
cool.
sandwich on white no crust vinyl display piece.
Okay.
A single Nas energy drink, original flavor.
Okay.
Fan favorite Diogo bobblehead with Christ the Redeemer display backdrop. One bottle of Nas, just a small one, nothing crazy.
It does like a single use, like a pocket Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A copy of God's Eye on the USB stick.
I think a pocket of Nas, they already invented that, Wes. It's just Galaxy gas.
It's just meth.
No, Galaxy gas.
Is that a thing?
You don't know about this?
Mm-mm.
The Zoomers and Alpha discovered Whippets, but they sell them just like in a single use small bottle.
Oh, okay.
And it's flavored too. It's like, and they are like melting their brains on fire. And I was like, man, I remember when Nos used to be only the nitrous oxide mafia. They would stand outside of a concert, and you'd hear as you're leaving, and you 3 for $10, 1 for $5. You just womp 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 a little bit.
Okay,
but nope, it's flavored now. We added flavors for the children. They don't know the struggle we had.
A copy of God's Eye on a USB stick.
Perfect, yeah.
A few pieces of the prop meth used to frame Dwight in F4.
Okay. Smells like feet, yeah.
A heartfelt apology handwritten by Jason Statham in character as Deckard, addressed to Han, minimum 3 pages, single space, preferably in cursive.
Yeah, but it's like, it looks like it's the Apple iPhone Notes app. It's like screenshots of what he's writing privately if he ever got to say, I'm sorry to Han. Yeah.
A free weekend stay in 1327.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
All packaged in a 1-to-1 scale case shaped like Dom's 1970 Charger, fully drivable.
I think that, Wes, because of how much you're including in here, it needs to come into the box bomb that Dom gets on his porch from Han.
Well, Wes is saying it like comes in a car.
I know, but like aim higher. If we have all this other stuff, like
what about a
kind
vault?
of a vault would be a good one. I would definitely a vault that they pulled through Rio that you could unlock that had like an actual combination. That would be cool. But I was saying like go full like modern art with the like taped up box with just Japanese on the side, and you open it and all the shit's in it, and it just like looks like a box like in your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would be cool.
Yeah.
Feel like it's a good jumping off point. What would you add? He writes. So it's up to you. What would you add?
I think what would I add? I would add maybe some Japanese candies or like a snack, like a thing of like, you know, those Japanese salad sticks or something like that, a la Han. What would you add, brother?
Like what movies are here are not really... There's not really anything from Too Fast. Cigar cutter.
Cigar cutter would be nice, yeah.
We have the letter to Han, which is not really Tokyo Drift, but kind of covers Tokyo Drift. Maybe Wabaki.
Oh, good
Parawabaki.
Parawabaki.
Or maybe a dinner for two for you and Noodle Grandma.
I was going to say a pack of ramen.
We've got the meth from 4.
Yeah.
Maybe just like a dollar bill, like a replica dollar bill from the safe in 5.
Oh, that was the thing that as you were reading the list, I think that you should get Brian Spillner's license.
Sounds like a serial killer.
Yeah. Like a copy of his driver's license.
Maybe a party pass, like a VIP lanyard for the party in 7.
Okay.
Like the birthday party.
Yeah.
Maybe a signed copy of Alvin and the Chipmunks on CD.
That would be cool. That would be really, really cool.
Maybe I mean, look, if it's going to be the car size, maybe like
I think everyone should get one dreadlock from Charlize Theron too.
Ooh. Maybe you do a canoe from Fast 10.
Is it packaged in the canoe or is the canoe
the canoe comes on top of the Charger.
How big are these? Full size?
The canoe is full size, yeah.
Okay.
The box set is like $70,000.
Yeah, it's one of 5. That's what I'm saying. We get the handwritten letter from Jason Statham to Han in character.
Maybe you also get Hattie's blood in a vial that you can, if you want, inject into you. And maybe it's antivirus, maybe it's not.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Live category B biological sample.
Yeah.
Suspected non pathogens.
I would buy it.
I'd buy it. I would drink it. Hey, man, Sydney Sweeney's selling bathwater soap.
That's getting resold for like thousands of dollars on eBay. It's sold out.
Was there really a hole in the middle of it? That's what I need to know. Rachel asked
so.
me, and I don't think so either. But I saw too many memes with like a hole in the middle of it, and I was like, was there
I don't think it
actually
exists yet. I don't think it's out yet. Maybe it is.
I think it is. I think it is.
No, I think people might have also drilled a hole in it or something.
I just saw too many memes of like, it's a good joke. But considering I didn't buy one, I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't know.
Oh.
Wes says, okay, to close, I want to submit a theory that I've only just come up with for this email, but I think is pretty solid. What if Vin keeps pushing so hard on Riddick because it's actually connected to Dom? What if he's so invested in all of his characters because they're all tied together in a larger story? Let's consider his 4 most iconic characters, Dom, Riddick, Xander, and Cage, and Calder the Last Witch Hunter. I mean, Groot's in there too, probably. This one didn't spawn a franchise, but it's close to Vin's heart as it's based on his own D&D character. From The Last Witch Hunter, we know Calder lived 800 years ago and became cursed with immortality by a witch. There's nothing in the story that says he can't have children. Don't bother fact-checking that. It's definitely true.
Okay.
In the mid to late 20th century, Calder fathers a son named Xander Cage, who inherits his dad's supernatural skills and seeming ability to cheat death, but not his sense of morality. Calder's mission to hunt witches keeps him away from Xander, who grows up with severe daddy issues and a real disdain for authority. He runs several missions for a super-secret government agency before realizing that what he really wants is what he never had, stability and a family. He joins witness protection for ex-spies, retires to the suburbs of LA. His new name, Jack Toretto, parentheses, don't worry about the timing, Vin never does.
Okay, yeah, fuck it.
He gets married, settles down, has 3 kids, Dom, Jacob, and Mia, all of which inherit his special abilities. He can't leave the thrills behind and becomes a race car driver. Eventually, he's killed in a horrible crash, or was he? Leaving Dom to keep his family together, except while he's in prison, and except for his brother, who he kicks out, and his mom, who he never talks about.
Exactly, Wes. Good points, yes.
Without a role model to guide him, Dom is forced to find an outlet for his burgeoning skills and thrill-seeking nature, which leads him to take bigger and bigger risks, first in the name of profit and eventually in the name of family. Little does he realize he's being watched by the Triple X program, now headed by Mr. Nobody, after Samuel L. Jackson is killed in an unfortunate accident while attending the Nitro Circus. As we know at this time, Jacob has already been recruited and will eventually defect.
Okay.
Dom will continue to miraculously evade death until he is secreted out of his life before the people around him start to realize he isn't aging like a normal human. The cycle will continue when Baby B, Little Jack, and Brian and Mia's daughter.
Are they surprise vampires?
Now there's a gap of several hundred years, maybe, where these descendants of Calder eventually become too numerous to keep secret. They don't die naturally, and they're extremely hard to kill, so something has to be done before they strain the Earth Federation's already overtaxed resources. All the Caldarians are sent out to space on a generation ship to find a new home. Eventually, they crash land on a harsh but life-sustaining planet. According to MomJunction.com, don't know if that's a real website or not, Calder means strength, and their strength has now turned to anger, so they dub this new world Furia and take on the name Furians.
Ah, there you go.
I believe Riddick 4 will be about Riddick returning to Furia to challenge their ruler, the original Calder. Along the way, we'll meet Xander and Dom occupying high ranks in the government, while both also leading their own separate underground rebellions. Eventually, Riddick will realize that what he really wants is what he never had, a family. His change of heart will remind Xander and Dom of the importance they once placed on family, and they will reconcile with Calder. The four of them will then turn Furia's considerable might outward to take revenge on an Earth that cast them out, and more specifically, the corporation that has ruled for 800 years, Etion. I don't really see what else the movie could be about, to be honest. Until next time, stay furious, Wes.
Wes, I would like to say, yes, I love that theory. How strong was that edible that you took before you wrote it? But I do like it, and I like the connections. I think that the easiest explain away thing would just be like Dom's just like all like mere cousins of himself that are also secretly like witches.
I just don't know why Groot's not involved.
Yeah, Groot needs to be in there. He's like, you know, it's, what is it, like Spider-Verse, right?
Also, they could just stop along Planet X. Like, isn't Planet X the Groot movie or something that's coming out? Like, just stop on Planet X on the way to Furia.
True. To refuel.
Yeah.
And they find Tree Witch Hunter.
Sure.
Whatever. Yeah.
Definitely.
I like it. I'm in. I would watch it for sure.
Well, we have to. We're
This
contractually
is what we need to use AI video for.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait until whatever AI video slop
Google
generates
like VO4, yeah, like which not out yet, but the next one will generate like Vin Diesel, like because a movie with 4 Vins in it is going to be really good.
You know, it's better than 1 Vin, 4 Vins.
4 Vins. If you want to email in family@cageclub.me,
anything, we'll read it. Obviously,
clearly.
Do you want to learn more about robot brothels? Subscribe to the Patreon.
We were just talking this week about Wells Lamont. Shout out to Wells. Where are you, Wells? If you're still listening, right in family@cageclub.me.
We still think about you, brother. We do.
Think about you, Wells. And your crazy emails. Yeah. People also leave us a review. There's also a store at cageclub.me/shop. Don't do that, but whatever. Extracurricular activities. What have you been up to in the last 3 or so weeks since we last recorded A Life in the Fast Lane? You had a birthday.
Things I remember, it was my birthday. I had a good birthday weekend. I just hung out with Rachel. I don't know. I just ate a bunch of shit that I wanted to eat, which was cool. Oh, I went to the Montreal Grand Prix.
Yes, you did. How was that?
A lot of fun.
Have you been to Montreal before? You've been to the Montreal Grand Prix before?
I've been to Montreal before, and I went to the Grand Prix last year because it's the closest one to us on the race calendar.
Okay.
So we can drive up to it. It's pretty cool. We don't stay in Montreal. Like, we stay in Plattsburgh and just, like, drive up for the track. Like, the way it's situated, like, the track is, like, on the outskirts of the city in a direction that's better for us to not... Like, if we went into the city, we'd go, like, past it to go in to come back type situation. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we stay in New York, and we just, like, drive up and cross the border at the end. It was a really fun race.
Plus, you stay in New York because you love this country, and you're a patriot.
Get me to bear country. Mm-hmm. It was really hot. There was not a fucking cloud in sight. I got sunburned. That sucked. But, Joey, so I didn't tell you, and I was, like, excited and waiting to tell you.
Okay.
We were sitting at the first corner, and near the end of the race, Right now, McLaren's in first, okay? Like, overall. Mm-hmm. And I think, yeah, and like Oscar...
In the race or for the season?
For the season.
Okay.
So currently, McLaren's in first, and both of their drivers are like first and second in their personal standings too, because in the F1, Joey, you have like driver championship and then you have constructors championship. So like the team wins if collectively they do the best as a team,
sure.
But the driver that does individually the best also wins a trophy,
okay.
Right? So currently they're like 1, 2, and 1, right? Cool. Their top driver that they've like known forever, like had forever, was this guy Lando Norris. Oh, how much of this do you want to hear? It's actually a lot of fun story. Can I tell it?
Yeah.
So, do you know Zach Brown that owns McLaren? Did I tell you this story that he won it because he won Wheel of Fortune?
No, but this is also not Zach Brown from the Zach Brown Band.
It's not.
Okay.
So there's a guy, Zach Brown. He's an American. He won his first batch of money to buy his first racing go-kart. On Wheel of Fortune says, I'm going to buy a racing go-kart, and started racing.
Wow. Okay.
Now he owns McLaren.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knew Lando Norris for like a long, long time, like from when he was in like juniors with him, and they've like come up together, right? So he's been like his coach and like his race director, owner person for like a while. Okay, so then a couple years ago, there's this kid, Oscar Piastri. He is Australian, and he's doing really good in F2. And in the middle of the night in Australia, this team, Alpine, the French team, announces next year, Oscar Piastri is going to be one of our drivers. Congratulations, Oscar. And he's asleep because it's Australia. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning there. He wakes up and goes, LOL, no, I'm not. Okay, so okay. So Alpine's like, what the fuck? And then like he goes and signs a contract with McLaren. The next year he goes to McLaren, not Alpine. Since then, they've been doing really well. Oscar is very, very good. And Lando has been like, he hasn't, like, until I think maybe last season, he had never won a race, and they just like, everybody would always make fun of him because he kind of like had a reputation for like bungling it pretty good. Okay. Like he would get pole position in a lot of races and then like never finish in first. Like it would be like he'd start first and then like somebody would pass him on like the first turn and he would just like finish like second or third or like just do like dumb shit. Okay.
At least he's consistent.
At least he's consistent. This weekend in Montreal, like the weekend in Montreal, they're racing. The race is like okay, but kind of boring. I'm in turn 1. There wasn't like really any accidents there or anything like that. But like as we're getting closer to the end of the race, the McLarens are like in like 3rd and 4th together. Lando keeps like trying to pass Oscar, which is, as you can imagine, like a really dumb strategy for the team, right? Like the team always is like, you shouldn't fight each other, right? Like if there's anybody you're trying to like race in the race, it's definitely not your teammate, okay? For like their sake. Because if you fuck up the cars or anything, okay. So Lando keeps trying to pass Oscar, and he like eventually passes him once, and Oscar immediately passes him back. As they're coming down the main straight, Lando tries to go around him on the inside. There's no room, and he just like taps Oscar's car and then blasts his car off the wall, DNFs himself out of it. It's like the worst outcome you could have seen. Either way, the car like pulls up dead right in front of us, and I just get to watch him like get out of the car.
All sad.
And like all sad. They had to tow it over to the side. So it was pretty fun. Like it wasn't like a very exciting race, but it was funny for me for the memes. And now that you know the lore, it was funny.
Very cool.
Other than that, I went to go see Phoenician Scheme, which Rachel and I really liked. It was very Wes Anderson-y.
Cool. Did you like it? Like,
yeah, I did.
like,
Did you see it?
Not yet. I want to, but like, did you like it compared to? Because I know you just said you liked it, but like, do you like it compared to like his other ones? Because I've heard sort of mixed things. Like, it's more this or less this or whatever. But how's it compared to other of his movies?
I think that Grand Budapest is like the Wes Anderson to 11. This one, I think he turned back a little bit, but I mean, it's Wes Anderson. Like, if you like it, you'll like it.
Well,
it was fun.
Do you mean turn to 11? Because like Grand Budapest is my favorite of his, but also like his early ones that people love. I don't love the way that I do.
I think he's my thing is like I like Rushmore a lot, right? But I think that he's like, and he's still very Wes Anderson, but he's just like honing his craft until he makes Grand Budapest. That's like his.
Oh,
magnum
so that's his.
opus.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like he did everything the most Wes Anderson he could. It's just like completely him.
Okay.
Phoenician Scheme, I think he's like now doing post, like Asteroid City, Phoenician Scheme. I think he's doing like post Wes Anderson. You know what I mean? Like, it's still very much him, but like he has like different ideas. He doesn't like, he's not beholden to every single Wes Anderson thing he needs to do, but it's still very Wes Anderson. It was cool. Cast is great. It was fun. At home, we watched the Minecraft movie. Was honestly not bad.
Did you throw popcorn?
Oh, we did not. There's a Blockbuster edition stream, and I was like, Rachel, is that the one that you get to throw popcorn at? The chicken jockey scene, wildly underwhelming too. Like, there is no, that was completely like, there's no, like, no need for that reaction at all.
Okay.
At all. Like, it's not, like, in the movie, it's not a big deal. This is a throwaway line. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, chicken jockey. Like, he yells it, but like, there's no, like, that's the whole, like, we stopped it and we were like, that was it. Like, at that point, we were like, that's what the fucking popcorn was about.
You never
Either
know,
way,
man.
Jason Momoa is cool. I never played Minecraft, but it was like one of these stupid movies. What the fuck's the one that we did? Dungeons and Dragons. But like, we did another one of these. Like, there was like a video game.
Well, we did In the Land of the King and Dungeon Siege.
That
Tale,
one.
the
Yeah,
Salem
that.
one.
Like that. Yeah. So it felt like that, right? Like any of these.
Okay.
Movies.
Sure.
We've been watching a lot of trash. Love Island is very good. I've been talking to Wes about it. I've included Mrs. Wes in the wives and girlfriends meme delivery service. So I supply Wes with they were a little bit behind, but I was just, because he didn't really care about the spoilers and stuff. I would send him the memes and say, just hold these until appropriate for Mrs. Wes and then drop them, because the internet discourse on Twitter this time for Love Island is always top tier.
Of course.
It's just like, it's amazing, right? You listen to like Who Weekly. I'm sure that it's very similar, not specifically, but like you can guess what the Twitter discourse is of like.
Sure, I know that. Yeah.
Fan clubs and like who's a shithead man and like all this stuff.
Yes.
It's awesome. Lots of fun. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of trash TV, I have a show for you that we watched one episode of that I heard about on a podcast, and I watched one episode of. There's like 6 seasons on Max.
What
and
is
I was
it?
like, I can't watch more of this. Have you ever heard, or have you seen, or you might have even told me on this, have you seen Naked Attraction?
No, we watched a ton of Naked and Afraid, but go ahead.
So Naked Attraction is a dating show, and I think there's 5 or 6 seasons on Max. They all came out in the last handful of years. It is a show where there is either a man or a woman with the host, and I think it starts with 6 potential candidates that they're going to date. So sometimes they're gay, sometimes they're bi, sometimes they're straight, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody's behind like a frosted wall, and the wall goes from the floor up to the waist, and so you see 6 people naked from the waist below.
Okay.
And based on that alone, the person who is the
Oh, you
contestant-
judge dicks first.
you judge dicks first.
I thought when you were explaining it, I put the frosting on the bottom.
No. Frosting,
Dicks first.
Dicks first,
Okay.
or vaginas first, or whatever.
Okay.
And so based on that alone, based on their legs, based on their stance, based on their dicks, whatever, you let one of them go.
Okay.
And then they reveal the full body. You see the full body. They say like a goodbye or whatever. Then from there, you then go up. I think there's like different stages where it then goes up to like maybe the neck or something, or maybe to like the stomach or whatever. It keeps going up and you keep eliminating people.
Yeah.
So it shows like dicks first and then like, boobs and then like face.
Yeah.
And then you keep limiting people down. And then finally the last one is you're between 2 people. Or maybe there's 5 and it goes dicks cuts it down to 4, boobs cuts it down to 3, head cuts it down to 2. Then they each get to ask one, or the contestant asks each of the 2 remaining a question, and they answer. And so it's basically sort of like voice and whatever, and then they choose one to go out with.
That's a wild ass premise,
I
dude.
can't imagine watching a lot of this because like it's an hour long and it felt like an hour. Like it's.
That's
there's
what I'm
a lot
saying.
of
This is
padding
like there's
here.
not. Yeah, there's a lot of padding. It seems like.
But Margaret was like, "This is wild," and so we
Do
watched
you
one
see the
episode.
dicks or the dicks
Oh yeah,
blur?
no, it's all there.
Okay, is this an American show?
No, it's a British show.
That's what I felt like this couldn't have been.
And
made
also
here.
the fact that they're British, like all the accents are even more wild. It's just like, oh, like that's an attractive person. You hear them talking, it's like, oh, that's like you sound like you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
And so Margaret did Google. She's like, are anybody from Naked? Because again, it's only like a couple of years. Like, is anybody from Naked Attraction married? And like, people have gotten married based on the show. So
Damn.
I don't know. So
Maybe we should judge dicks first, bud.
So watch Naked Attraction if you want. There's a lot of episodes. I heard about it talked about on. I heard it talked about on a podcast where they're like, there's a wild show. Like you have to hear, and I'm just like, hold on, what? And
it's on
Max. Yeah.
Okay, Naked Attraction.
Yep, Naked Attraction. So in terms of trash TV, it's not like it's not reality, but it's kind of it's whatever. But watch at least an episode, you'd be like, you understand it, because I can't imagine any episode is different than the first one, right? Where it's just like in the first episode, I think there's a woman who chooses between 6 men, and then there's a woman who chooses between five men, and then between 5 men and women, and one of the men in one of them has a wild tattoo that you will see.
Okay.
In the first episode, because we've only watched the first episode, we've not gone back to it. But just saying, Naked
This sounds like fun for Rachel and I. Thank you. This is a good suggestion. On that note, we've been watching the 90 Day Fiancé, the main show, and their goofy dating island resort one. Both delightful because 90 Days full of a bunch of shitbags, so that's always fun. We've been watching this new game show. The premise is so much fun and so good, but it's frustrating because it's really, really easy. It's called Destination X. It's kind of like a spin on like a Amazing Race.
Okay.
So they put them all in a bus that they can't see out of, and they give them clues on where they're taking them. They're the largest cities in Europe. Like, every answer is like the first clue. You're just like, oh, okay, you're just going here. Like, so every episode I'm like excited to watch it, and then I'm like, oh, I know, like, it's not a surprise where they're going.
Yeah.
Like, in the first clue, I'm like, oh, you're clearly just going to Paris. Like,
right.
Duh.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're going to show them more clues. And I'm like, how are these morons not? But then at the end, a really cool thing, like, this would be so much fun if they used, like, not, like, American cities, right? Like, if you had to be like, oh, this is, like, Basel. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Like, if you started doing that, then you're like, oh, shit, like, this is, like, Modena, right? You're not, like, in, like, the biggest city in that country. I think this would be really interesting, because at the end, to vote people out, they don't vote people out. You have a map, and you have to, like, Google Map pin drop where you are. And closest to the pin, it's like the furthest away from the pin is the one that gets sent home. So and these people do wildly bad, even though that's the easiest fucking game I've ever seen in my life, like, clues-wise. So, I don't know if I can recommend it or not. It's fun. It kind of scratches Amazing Reaches. I forget. Maybe, like, it's, like, Peacock, like, Paramount, one of these.
It's on
Fox, on
Peacock.
Hulu.
That's on Peacock.
Okay, it's on Peacock, yeah.
Oh, hosted by Jeffrey Dean Morgan from Walking Dead and from a million things.
Yes. Bootleg. He looks like bootleg Javier Bardem. I call him Great Value Javier Bardem.
Yeah, eliminated in Rome, Geneva, Paris, Amsterdam. It's just like, okay, these are huge cities.
That's what I mean. And, like, what are the clues that, like,
right?
You know, they're like, you're in a place that likes pasta, and you're like, okay, so I'm in Rome, right? And you're like, well,
are
maybe
you?
And you're like. They're like, here's the Colosseum. And you're like, oh, come on. That's what I'm saying. So, like, yes, that's my point. I'm like, I wish it was tougher. If this was meant for somebody else, like, and they used real cities, I think this would be really a fun game. Oh, we started The Bear. We watched the first 2 episodes of The Bear, which just came out last night.
Season 4, yeah.
Yeah, it's The Bear. It's good.
Well, Season 3 I hated, so...
You hated Season 3?
I thought it was bad. I don't know if I hated it. Hated is a strong word, but I did not like Season 3. I liked Season 1 and 2 quite a bit. Season 3 I did not like, so I'm hoping... Season
4 seems like it's building to exactly what you imagine it's going to build to.
Okay. Well, I will get to that soon-ish. There's a couple other things I want to finish first, but I will get to that. But you're enjoying it so far.
I am.
Because they did the whole season dump, right? They did not, once again, build up any kind of...
Yeah, I got really nervous last night. Like, Rachel was like, okay, all the season's up. I was like, what? I thought we were going to, like, piecemeal this out and get them, like...
Nope.
One a week, and they don't give a fuck. Also, Joey, much like you said, Best Buy exclusive, sponsored, purchase from Amazon... not on Best Buy. The Bear is a Hulu exclusive by FX that is not broadcast on FX.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, FX and Hulu are both owned by Disney.
Sure.
So that it was always FX on Hulu or whatever. You can also watch an FX on Hulu show on Disney Plus, right? So like, that's not on FX. So
exactly.
I don't know.
I think I cut in all of my fun time things that I've been up to. That was about it. That was a big dump. What have you been up to, brother?
told you about Naked Attraction, which we watched one episode of.
Yes, thank
We're
you.
also
Yes.
watching, I think we were watching it when we talked last time, but we are into season 2 of The Sopranos because in between seasons, she just wants to like burn through it. I'm just like, I want to like pace this out so we actually like savor it. Because like once it's over, it's over. Like there's not going to be more Sopranos. So I'm like, between seasons, like, let's watch another show or whatever. And so we watched season
smart.
1. Now we're in season 2.
Wait, let's go over this again. Margaret has or has not
seen
it.
it. Also does not know the ending.
Okay, fine.
I'm like, what do you know about The Sopranos? She's like, I know. I think she basically, it was equivalent of like, I know Tony and like Carmela.
He's a mobster.
And mobster, yeah. And I'm just
in like Jersey.
I'm like, do you know how it ends? She's like, no. I was like, oh.
You got the article on deck waiting for her?
Well, I read that, but I'm just saying like.
No, I'm saying, but like, you know, this is like the first
Yes.
thing I do. Like when you finish the show, you're like, here.
I don't
Before you
know
say anything, just read
how anyone like I wasn't. It was like 10 or 15 years before I watched The Sopranos, and I even like you could not escape how that show ended.
It was a pop culture like revolution. This was like, everybody talked about it. The end of Seinfeld, the end of Sopranos. Yeah, last season of what was it? Game of Thrones, right? Like this is something everybody knows about.
So we're watching that. We saw Sleigh Bells in concert. It was great. With friend of the show,
fun.
Melissa Lynham and Melissa's sister. So we went to New York to
Fun.
see that. That was very
Cool.
cool. We're also doing just a bunch of wedding stuff, which we're 3.5 months out. We also went to a wedding, which was very fun for someone from the yoga studio, which was cool.
Very cool.
Our first,
nice.
because it would have been weird because we're like, I don't know.
Was
if
this
we're
the one
go...
you were saying you were talking about before with us when I was with you guys that you were going to, or is
Yes,
it?
no, it's only
not like...
only the one wedding because like we were talking about like we don't really have like all of our friends are married or like they're never getting married. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
like we're kind of the last that we can think of. So unless there's like
Cool.
second weddings in the future, right? So like,
Yeah.
it would have been fun and weird sort of if our first wedding together was our wedding, but we went to one, so that was good.
Cool.
We also saw Hitchcock's Rebecca in theaters, which was cool. We saw the new movie Materialist with Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans in theater, the A24 movie. That was also pretty good. And then we did not see it, but I watched You're Next because that's not a new movie, but I watched that because I talked about it on Mark Hoffmeyer's podcast. So you're going to do Out Now. I did that. Mark's
Cool.
way behind in terms of editing and releasing. So there's a couple episodes I've done that have not come out yet, but You're Next is coming out at some point there. And I think the only other thing of note is that since we recorded, the Switch 2 came out, so I've been playing Switch 2, which
Nice.
is
Do
very
you like
fun.
it? Is it cool?
I do like it. I played a little bit of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which, like, the big thing, because there's only Mario Kart
That's what
World.
everybody's been saying.
That's the
Yeah,
only
I haven't
game
been
that's
paying
really
attention,
out
but
yet.
that's why I saw it. Yeah.
And it's really good, but it's also, like, it's mostly a multiplayer game, so I did, like, most of what I could do with a single player. I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to wait for people to come over or whatever. So I'm like, Margaret, you want to play Mario Kart? She's like, no. I was like, okay. So we have not played Mario Kart. I was like, it'd be fun, I think. She's like, I don't want to. I'm like, okay. So I'll have friends come over at some point and play Mario Kart.
Sure.
So the only other game that people are really playing are anything from the first Switch, that the first Switch famously not very powerful at all, that like had these games that like could not, like, that chugged along, like Pokemon games and Zelda games and stuff like that. So what people are playing and excited about are just like games
Playing those
actually
games
that you're
correctly.
supposed to be able to play, right? So
That's weird, but funny.
that's that. There's a Donkey Kong game that comes out in July. That's the next like big release. But then after that, like, I don't know, maybe a Metroid game this fall. It's just like, all right, you guys maybe should add a couple more games, but also it's Nintendo and they like set like record sales numbers for this.
Anyways, yeah, it didn't fucking matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. But I think that's basically it. Just so much wedding planning stuff. We're doing fun stuff. Been watching a lot of horror movies. I'm just like, I want to watch like things that I'm going to like sort of turn my brain off.
I'm
and just
going to
enjoy
ask
for
you this
90
here
minutes.
because I almost texted you about it. Give me a good summertime horror movie a la Final Destination, a la Scream. What should I watch that I like missed? But like, you know,
like
I
a
want it to be like
franchise or like a one-off.
it doesn't either or probably like, but
I
something
mean,
schlocky, like, you know what I mean? Like it has
I'm
a
sure you've
feel
seen
of
these,
like
but
this.
like there's the new one coming out. But I know what you did last summer. There's a new one coming out. So there's
I started those
two
too.
of
Yeah.
those. There's a TV show.
Yep, I started those.
What else? What else is really?
Think on it. Think
Good,
on it and
I
shoot me
will.
a text. You know what I mean? I was just looking for something with that kind of vibe, like the summertime scary vibe.
I've
like,
not seen the sequels, but there's like 4 sleepaway camps. They're not as good as the first one. I guarantee you that. But there's more of those if you want just like summer horror. Yeah, well, think about it. There's probably
Thank
gonna
you.
be like one-offs as opposed to franchises. But
That's fine.
I'll think
But
about
I
it.
just, the same feel, the texture of it. It doesn't need to be a franchise, but it just needs to have that, like, this is silly in summertime, and then there's murders.
I actually wonder what is.
Oh, you know what else we watched? Fucking Companion. That movie was fun.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was fine, good.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Like, in a mood that you're drunk in the summertime watching this movie, yeah.
I'm just looking on Letterboxd for films similar to Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th, Scream, Prom Night, Nightmare on Elm Street, House of Wax, Black Christmas, Thanksgiving, Terrifier, which are the very bloody ones.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one that Josh Buckley was talking about, too.
My Bloody Valentine. Oh, you should see... Okay, here's a movie that you should watch for one specific reason. You should watch 1981's The Burning, which is a summer horror movie that I think I maybe picked for Film Club, because it's got George Costanza with hair.
Okay.
And it's very jarring. The movie's also really good and really fun, but just watch The Burning from 1981. I think it's on Prime.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Watch that.
Good
That's
rec.
one. And let me just
One
see.
Night at Camp, yeah.
Oh, what was the one? Was it called The New Kids, maybe? Yeah, there's another movie called The New Kids, which is from 1985, starring Aunt Becky, that I really liked as well.
Okay.
Those are two. And they're both like 85, 90 minutes. And both I feel like 80s is the important sort of texture for that.
Yeah, I think so.
The New Kids and The
very
Burning.
Cool.
And The New Kids was directed by Sean Cunningham, who did the original Friday the 13th. So, like, he's...
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Next week, our episode will be Hobbs and Shaw, releasing on the 4th of July for the patrons. Very cool.
Very cool.
Or actually probably before that, because I will, want to do that before. But 4th of July week for the patrons. Between now and then, patrons get Born to Race. And then, after that's going to be another Life in the Fast Lane. So get those emails in, family@cageclub.me. But Joe, anything else to say in this episode about the 3-time undisputed, optimistic, theatrical experience champion?
Hope you guys are staying cool. It was really, really hot here recently. Having lots of fun, but safely this summer.
It's so hot. But now it's better. It's good now.
It's cool. Yeah, it's like today was like the first day that it wasn't melting.
For all things Too Fast, Too Forever, go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFastTooForever, or @TooFastTooForever on most of the socials. Email us, family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at TooFastTooForever.com and our store at cageclub.me/shop. And come back next week for Hobbs and Shaw. Big guy, little guy. And also check out, next week, check out the Head of State that Sina Idris. We're probably not going to talk about it here, but,
Oh, actually, Joey, last night in one of the episodes of The Bear, somebody goes, "That's what we call a champagne problem." So there you go.
I do want to know if that was a Hobbs and Shaw. It
No,
couldn't
it's
have
a
been
phrase.
creation, but like
yeah.
Well, also
It's a
there's a.
phrase.
I want to say there's a Taylor Swift song called "Champagne Problems," but also it's never.
So she
literally-
watched Hobbs and Shaw
it's never-
and then
I mean,
wrote the song.
It predated Travis, but like if it did and be like, oh, that's a good turn of phrase for a thing, right? So. But it rarely actually involves a bottle of champagne. Or, like, a person is not necessarily a champagne problem. It's like a first world problem.
Yeah, it's
They
first
use
world
it in
problem.
a weird way, is what I'm saying, Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm what you would call a champagne. Like, no, you're not. That's actually not what that... A champagne problem is like, oh, we don't know where to put all of our money at.
Right.
Yeah.
I walk by a house in town, and they have, like, an entire wall of wine. I'm just like, Jesus. Okay. I just saw, like, from two different windows, like, two different wall. I'm just like, wow, cool. Okay.
That's good security, because, like, then you know that the robbers are going to go to that house first if you can see their fucking wall of wine.
Yeah.
Like, don't rob me. I just got DVDs over here.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you for supporting and subscribing. If you do, I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too.
And we will tell you all about it
When we see you again.